Hey there, adventurers! So, Oblivion Remastered kinda dropped out of nowhere in April and totally caught everyone off guard, right? Whether you're a returning hero reliving your Cyrodiilic glory days, or someone who's never set foot outside the Imperial City before, chances are you've already realized one thing. You're gonna need gold. Like a lot of gold. Potions, arrows, enchanted gear. All that shiny stuff costs coin. So today, let's talk about one of the quickest ways to fill your pockets. Selling loot. But not just any loot. We're diving into the best items to sell for maximum profit. Now, I know the temptation is real to pick up everything that's not nailed down. I mean, if it's there, it's basically free, right? But hold up! Oblivion Remastered has that good old encumbrance system, which means if you load yourself up like a pack mule, you're not going anywhere fast. So in this video, we're gonna break down what's actually worth hauling back to town, what to leave behind, and how to make the most gold with the least effort. Stick around because your future self in full Daedric armor is gonna thank you. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. If you are roaming around the wilds of Cyrodiil in Oblivion Remastered and wondering how to make some quick gold without diving into deep dungeons or stealing from nobles, let me tell you, animal pelts are where it is at. They are simple, easy to get, and surprisingly valuable. Every time you come across a wolf, deer, or even a bear, take them down and you are guaranteed a pelt. It is basically free money walking around on 4 legs. The best part? These pelts weigh practically nothing. You can stack up a bunch of them in your inventory without worrying too much about getting over encumbered. So whenever you are out adventuring, keep a little bit of space in your bag. It is totally worth it. You would be surprised how quickly those pelts start to add up into a decent amount of gold. Think of it like this. You are already exploring, already fighting off wild animals. Why not get paid for it? And here is the cherry on top. You do not need to search for a special vendor or travel to some obscure location to sell them. Almost every town in Oblivion Remastered has a general goods store, and they are more than happy to take those pelts off your hands. So next time you are wandering through the forests or mountains, do not ignore the wildlife. That wolf might just be carrying your next shopping spree in fur form. If you are wandering through the forests and hills of Cyrodiil in Oblivion Remastered and spot a crumbling stone structure off the beaten path, do yourself a favor, go check it out. These ancient Iliad ruins are not just there for spooky vibes or lore nuggets. They are absolute gold mines if you are looking to make easy money without going too far out of your way. And no, you do not need to be some legendary thief or dungeon-crawling maniac. All you need is a decent backpack and a bit of curiosity. Now, once you step into these ruins, keep your eyes peeled for glowing blue stones lying around like forgotten treasure. These are Welkin stones. To a mage, they are incredibly useful since they fully restore your magicka with a single use. But here's the thing. Most players are not walking around flinging fireballs all day. And even if you are, there are usually better ways to recover magicka. What really makes Welkin stones amazing is their value. They sell for a solid price, and more importantly, they only weigh 1 unit each. That means you can scoop up dozens of them without feeling the weight drag you down. So next time you are skipping the main quest and just vibing with the world, make Iliad Ruins your new go-to spot. Not only are they packed with history and eerie ambiance, but they are also practically handing you free money. Stack up on Welkin stones, head to the nearest merchant, and watch the gold roll in. Trust me, it is one of the most chill and reliable ways to make bank in Oblivion Remastered, and you will probably pick up some neat loot or gear along the way too. One of the easiest ways to make money in Oblivion Remastered is by taking advantage of alchemy equipment. Seriously, if you are walking past those shiny mortars and alembics without picking them up, you are missing out on some easy gold. The cool part is that these items usually do not weigh much, but depending on their quality, they can sell for a pretty decent amount. Whether it is novice gear or something a bit fancier, merchants are happy to take them off your hands. Now you might be thinking, where am I supposed to find a bunch of alchemy gear without getting caught? Well, let me tell you, your best bet is the Mages Guild. Once you join the guild, and I mean just apply, something magical happens. The rules change. Suddenly, taking all that juicy loot lying around in each guild hall is totally legal. It is not even considered stealing anymore. You can walk right in, grab everything that is not nailed down, and walk out like it is your own personal storehouse. So what should you do? hit up every mage's guild in Cyrodiil. Each one is basically a gold mine of alchemy tools just waiting to be turned into coin. You do not even have to sneak around. Just act like you belong there, because technically you do. Gather the equipment, find a decent merchant, and cash out. It is one of the smoothest ways to make money early on, and honestly, it is kind of satisfying to outsmart the system like that. You ever find yourself digging through some old chest in a dusty ruin, and boom, there's another spell scroll just chilling there? Yeah, they're everywhere in Oblivion Remastered. Whether you are looting a mage's guild cabinet or cracking open a bandit stash, you are bound to stumble upon these little magical slips. And here is the thing, while they are definitely useful in tight spots, they are also one of the sneakiest ways to make a solid chunk of gold without dragging around a ton of weight. See, spell scrolls barely weigh anything. You could carry a whole wizard's library in your pocket and still have room for more loot. That makes them the perfect item to hoard while adventuring. Even if you do not plan on casting Shock Shield or Summon Skeleton Champion, just pick it up. You can always sell it later. Seriously, it is like carrying around gold coins that do not weigh anything. Why would you not? Now, prices can jump around a bit depending on the scroll's power and rarity. Some scrolls go for pocket change, sure, but others? They can sell for hundreds. So when you roll into town with a backpack full of forgotten magic, do not underestimate how much that stack of scrolls is worth. It is one of those underrated moneymakers in the game that can keep your pockets full without ever needing to swing a sword or cast a single spell. One of the sneakiest ways to make easy gold in Oblivion Remastered is by hoarding something you might normally ignore: alchemical ingredients. Seriously, do not underestimate these little plants, mushrooms, and monster drops. While you're out exploring dungeons or just strolling through the wilderness, you are going to run into tons of these things. And sure, you could use them for potions, but if your focus is making money, they are basically free loot waiting to be sold. Now here is the fun part. Some ingredients are incredibly common. Flowers, for example, grow all over Cyrodiil. You can just walk around, spam that grab button, and end up with dozens of ingredients in a matter of minutes. Even if each one only sells for a few coins, it adds up fast when you are carrying 50 of them. And the best part? They are light, so you can stack up a ton without worrying about your inventory limit. Easy money, zero risk. But if you are lucky enough to find rare ingredients, especially from specific creatures or unique locations, hold on to them. These rarer items can sell for significantly more, and shops will pay top coin if your mercantile skill is decent. So whether you are picking flowers in the fields or looting rare roots in a necromancer's lair, always grab those ingredients. They are one of the most efficient and overlooked sources of income in the entire game. Now let's talk about something every adventurer secretly loves more than saving the world: making money. And trust me, in Oblivion Remastered, there is no quicker way to fill your coin pouch than looting weapons and armor. Just think about it. Every bandit, marauder, or rogue battle mage you cut down is practically handing you a stack of septums with every piece of gear they drop. And as you level up, these enemies start carrying better stuff. No more rusty iron daggers. Now we are talking about dwarven, ebony, and even daedric gear that can go for a very pretty price. But here is the real trick. Enchantments. A plain old daedric sword? Nice! A daedric sword that also sets your enemies on fire or drains their health? That is a gold mine. Enchanted weapons and armor sell for significantly more, and if you have been working on your enchanting and soul trap skills, you can start creating your own enchanted loot to sell. It is like being your own magical blacksmith/business mogul. Plus, enchanted gear is always in demand by merchants with deep pockets, or at least the ones that seem to have deep pockets. Just make sure to check a merchant's available gold before you start selling off your treasure hoard. There is nothing worse than dragging 15 pounds of enchanted plate armor across Cyrodiil only to find that the merchant you picked has enough gold to buy one iron dagger. Some of the best places to sell high-end gear are in the Imperial City or at certain guild halls, especially if you have raised your mercantile skill. So loot smart, enchant everything, and sell like a pro, because gold does not grow on Nirnroot. Jewelry in Oblivion. Remastered might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of valuable loot, but trust me, it is absolutely worth picking up. These shiny little treasures are surprisingly profitable, especially since they weigh almost nothing. You can stack up a bunch of rings and necklaces in your inventory without even noticing a dent in your carry weight. And when it comes time to sell, you will be smiling all the way to the bank. Now, what makes jewelry even more appealing in Oblivion Remastered is how its value is based entirely on the material, not the enchantment. This is a big change from other Elder Scrolls titles like Morrowind or Skyrim, where a powerful enchantment often came with a high-value item. Here, you do not have to stress about whether to sell or save. Found a ring made of gold or something fancy-looking? Just cash it in. You will not be missing out on a game-breaking enchantment, and your wallet will thank you. Of course, enchanted rings and necklaces still exist, and yes, they do sell for more than plain ones. So if you stumble across a piece of jewelry with a nice little magic boost, go ahead and flip it for some extra coin. Think of jewelry in this game as the perfect combination of low risk, high reward. It is light, easy to find, and it sells like hotcakes. Next time you are looting a dungeon, do not ignore that small box in the corner. Your next big payday might be hiding in there. One of the most underrated ways to make serious gold in Oblivion Remastered is through potions and poisons. I know, it does not sound as exciting as looting a dungeon or hunting down rare artifacts, but trust me, alchemy is where the real money is. You can start with just a few cheap ingredients, and before you know it, you are walking into a shop with an entire inventory of flasks ready to sell. It is like turning weeds and mushrooms into pure profit. What makes this even better is that you are not relying on luck or rare item drops. You are the one crafting the goods, which means you control the supply. Once you get the hang of mixing ingredients and figuring out what combinations sell well, it becomes a really satisfying loop. Plus, if you go all in and max out your alchemy skill, things get even crazier. At higher levels, you can actually make potions and poisons using just a single ingredient. That means less time collecting and more time selling. And here is the best part. Merchants love these things. No matter what city you go to, there is always a vendor willing to buy up your creations. You can literally turn a few minutes of ingredient hunting into hundreds of gold coins. So if you are looking for a consistent, easy way to get rich in Oblivion Remastered, forget about heavy armor and enchanted swords for a moment. Grab a mortar and pestle and start brewing your way to fortune. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.